We've done all we can to prep you for this weekend Academy Awards, including take you live to the red carpet in LA. So now it's time to put your money where your mouth is.
But first, we've brought in the big guns, our movie reviewer, Rad, to break down the top 6 categories. Get your popcorn and ballots ready. Here we go.
Okay, and we all have our ballots. They're all in front of us. Okay, so Rad, let's start with Best Supporting Actress.
Okay, so Viola has this on lock.
You think?
She's
Really?
been winning
Okay.
all the preliminary awards. You know, you could say that every Viola Davis performance deserves an Oscar because she gives, like the full-throated performance with the snot and everything. I don't even think this Oscar deserves Viola, really. I mean, it's a supporting category Oscar, and it's practically a lead role. So this Oscar should be grateful that it's going to go home with Viola.
I'm going Rogue.
So
You're
are
going
you?
Rogue?
Michelle Williams. Yeah.
What?
I think she deserves it.
Right?
Yeah.
In Manchester by the Sea, she's so phenomenal.
Yeah.
In that. So I'm going to put that one down.
Okay, I'm going to go with Viola Davis because I haven't seen the movie. All right, Best Supporting Actor, Rad.
Another lock, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. You know, it's an amazing performance. I totally agree with this. He gives like a really subtle and nuanced performance as a drug dealer who turns into a father figure. In terms of this performance, you could see the character putting on a performance, but then you also in Mahershala's eyes and shoulders, you see these competing emotions. So it's just amazing. I don't think there's any question anyone else is going to win this.
I think I'm going to go with Dev Patel because you guys loved Lion.
Okay, and I'm going to go with you on this one, Mahershala.
No, it's Dev Patel, for sure.
Okay.
He's so good. Lion is phenomenal. He made me bawl the whole time. I literally had my hand...
He made you cry?
Yeah, weird. I had my hand over my mouth because I was ugly crying so loud. So it's so good.
This also happens at commercials, so
Right.
keep that in mind.
Best actress?
Okay, so Best Actress, all the logic says this is going to be Emma Stone, and she's great in La La Land. She's the best part of it. She's singing, she's dancing, she's giving you all the feels. So you'd be kind of silly to vote against her, but that's exactly what I'm going to do.
You
Yes.
are?
I'm going to predict Isabelle Huppert for Elle, and maybe this is just
What?
For who and what?
What is this movie?
Isabelle Huppert. Ben says that name so much better than I do.
Okay.
The movie's called Elle. It was actually my favorite movie of the year, and I think this is one of the best performances of the year.
What's it about?
It's about she plays a rape victim who does everything she can to not be a rape victim.
Right, I remember you telling us.
It's a very provocative performance. I mean, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot with it in this because Emma Stone just kind of you would assume she has it on lock, but I'm just kind of hoping for an upset, So I'm just hoping that people have watched this movie, and by watching this movie, they realize this is the performance of the year. So I put my money on. When I say I put my money on it, I literally went on a betting site and put my money on this. It's like 10 to 1 odds.
You got skin in the
If somehow
game.
this happens,
Oh,
I'm
I hope
paying my
that works
phone
out
bill.
for you.
All right, I'm going with Meryl because I'm a big Meryl fan.
You're going to go
Me
Meryl?
too.
I'm sticking with Emma.
I just
I'm
feel
gonna go
like
Emma Stone.
Meryl Streep is like the guaranteed choice, so I'm just going to put it down.
She's guaranteed to be nominated for everything. Okay,
Right.
Best Actor. Let's go with...
Okay, so Best Actor is probably the toughest category to call.
Yeah.
'Cause, you discussed this with Lainey earlier in the week. We've been saying all year that Casey Affleck is the front runner for this prize. He gives a really emotional performance in Manchester by the Sea. It's heartbreaking. It cuts to the core. I think it's the most deserving performance. But do you remember that Sally Field acceptance speech where it was like, "You like me,
you
right?
really
You
like me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that there's a lot of truth in that. Oscar voters, it's not just about talent. It's about affection for the person. And I don't know that Oscar voters like Casey Affleck.
But they love Denzel.
They love Denzel.
And they love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, but Ryan Gosling, how much does he do in this movie, right? Like Denzel's performance is
If
really
it's about how much
big.
you like someone.
Right, it's true. I mean, I think it's a mix of those factors.
Do you think
right?
Denzel's going to take this one?
So I'm gonna go with Denzel. Like I
Okay.
think it's between Casey Affleck and Denzel, and I'm gonna go with Denzel because he's a reasonable alternative to Casey Affleck. He gives a big performance. He also directed the movie. So, and I don't think anyone really has to argue with themselves to give Denzel another prize.
Okay,
What are you guys gonna do?
Best director. This is all men in this
Oh, wait,
category.
you're going with Ryan Gosling?
I went with Ryan Gosling.
I'm going Casey Affleck.
I did Denzel.
Okay.
Denzel.
All right.
Yeah.
Best director, this should go to Barry Jenkins, and not just because this would make him the first black director to ever win this prize, but because, he is the Moonlight is, I think, the best movie among these nominees, and it's a movie that is so strong because of his intimacy with the subject, because it's such honest storytelling. But Oscar voters don't really go for that kind of directing. Oscar voters like the most directing. They like to point at a thing on the screen and say, that's directing. So think
who's
of like...
that here?
So that's Damien Chazelle for La La Land. Think of the choreography. Think of the long takes. Yeah, think of the production designs. They could point at that and say, ooh, that's directing. So,
Because it's a technical award.
it's kind of a technical award. And
don't
also,
know what to
think
do
back
here.
last year, they keep talking about how, during the campaign, how Damien Chazelle shut down traffic on an LA freeway to shoot the opening number.
Right. And
eye
in
roll.
La La
Yeah.
Land, that is extraordinary.
Yeah, so that's like this year's Leonardo DiCaprio ate raw bison liver. Like, that's a story the Oscars love. So that's why I'm going with Damien Chazelle.
Okay, so you're Damien.
I'm going to Damien Chazelle.
Okay,
You
you're-
swayed
I'm going to
me.
do Barry Jenkins.
Okay, last one, Best Picture, the big award.
Bison liver. it's going to be La La Land. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think we knew that back in September, like when it premiered at TIFF. It's the movie that's the most easy to love, and Hollywood loves movies about Hollywood. I mean, that's what La La Land is. It's a big musical that is a
They
throwback
love
to-
themselves.
Yeah, they
That's
love
basically
themselves.
what the night's all about, yeah.
Well, and it's also like, I mean, you think about a movie that is a throwback to old-fashioned entertainment. It's a movie that runs in the face of watching movies on your cell phones because it's about going to see movies in the theater. It's about like going to see jazz shows. La La Land has everything an Oscar voter could dream of. And,
Brad,
yeah.
it's been a dream. Thanks for having us to your conversation. All right, we're gonna get these ballots filled out. Make sure Mel and Ben do the same. Watch Monday when we find out who's gonna win the first annual Your Morning Oscar Pool.